Hello Sea Wolves, it's Wednesday. I hope you had a very nice day. Maybe you're already off of work. Most of you of course are home anyway because of the lockdowns everywhere, just like me here. It's sad that we have to do Christmas this way, but we do have one thing that can cheer us up a little bit, right? We do have this one thing, all together, coffee and sailing, that hopefully puts a little bit of a light into every day, something to really enjoy, just to do just for us. So let's enjoy it once more again today. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. We lopen inmiddels in dik 40 knopen wind, vol aan de wind, en het gaat best lekker. Oh, that's nice. That's excellent. Okay, so yeah, not a lot going on today, as you guys can imagine. As we just discussed yesterday, pretty much the entire front of the fleet is epically stuck in the high pressure zone.
From fully flying this morning, I have gone to fully stopped, and now to this. This is not fully stopped, the boat is moving very slowly. And normally this would freak me out big time, but somehow, for some reason, I kind of deal with it better today. I'm not stressed too much, a bit. And it's exciting to see this dark stripe on the horizon. Maybe I get a little bit of breeze. And it's kind of beautiful also now. Look at these colors on the water. I wish you could see it with your eyes. It looks so different. And the dot there on the water that you see there, that's the moon. Look, there's the moon. The sun is sinking behind some haze. Typical high pressure ambience.
So everybody is more or less not moving much today, but there is of course a lot of strategizing and positioning going on. And instead of starting in the front, because many of you have asked me about this, and I also mentioned Sam Davis again, as we're doing the auction now of that little boat example that I used. Check for that on the website, where half of the proceeds go to Sam Davis's charity initiatives Cur. And so I thought I'd do a little update on how Sam is actually doing right now. So follow me into the screen. If we scroll back a little bit, we see that Sam is now actually visible on the tracker as a ghost. So here she goes. And they did put away some of the data, I see. Let's check real quick here if that's also invisible in... yeah, so she's not in the Vendee app anymore, unfortunately, but she is here, so we do know her location. And so right now she's sailing up to Sébastien d'Estremeux in Merci, getting pretty close there, and actually doing relatively well. She's in good winds. I've had no messages of her having any damage or any problems. Now, she did mention, of course, that she was going to sail quite conservatively and carefully, as she is all the way in the back of the fleet, so no easy rescues if anything goes wrong. And at the same time, there's no pressure for her to really push the boat all the way to the limit. So she is a racing sailor. I'm sure that she is going to be, pushing the boat somewhat, let's say, but in the interview with me that I had before she left, she of course clearly said that she was going to be quite careful, and also that she had some fear demons to slay after the last accident. But it seems that speed-wise she's doing absolutely fine, locations absolutely fine, and so she's about to overtake Sébastien Destremaux in Merci. So that's how Sam is doing right now. Then if we move a little bit more to the front, and let's do that actually here in Windy, we see that well, the back of the fleet more or less is still you know, very much engaged in many little battles. There are high pressures kind of all over, and we see also that the middle of the fleet here right now being plagued by another high pressure that's kind of spraying right across the ice limit, with fortunately Pip here still in 17, so she's doing well. Still 3 days to go, Team Pip, of staying ahead of Jeremy, and she's actually ahead of this high pressure now, so that's nice, and doing good speed. She just made the turn more southward, doing a nice average of 14 knots in the last 24 hours, so absolutely nice. What's kind of interesting is that Didier Costa now and Stéphane Le Dirigeant quite nicely behind her. She really made a good maneuver, and you know, these guys were ahead of her for most of the time, but she's overtaken all of them. And well, like I said, she might actually overtake Orna Bozeris at some point. And yeah, she's not really in any danger of doing that anytime soon, but throughout the last 48 hours or so, she has gained on him a little bit. And so it's nice to see that that battle between Didier Costa and Pip, that was, you know, kind of going on more or less from the start of the race, for now at least looks like Pip has really kind of won that battle, so knock on wood. But for now it seems that she's come out of that skiff victorious, and is now on her way to starting a new battle, let's say, with Orna Bozeris. So we'll see how it goes. Their average speeds over the last 24 hours are more or less the same. His current speed is a little bit higher than Pip, so like I said, no danger of her overtaking him any moment soon, but she is a bit more to the south of him, and yeah, they're both moving into stronger winds. So like I said, for now looks like that's going to stay that way, but who knows what is going to happen in the future. Then we have Alan Rora doing good. Finally some good speeds for Alan, 17.2 knots, 16.3 average. Yeah, I don't know exactly why he's not ever really going into the you know, the 19s and 20s. You'd think with this wind it would be possible, and I don't know of any particular damage that he's sustained that's doing that, but I'm thinking maybe it's the oil thing, that his boat is just maybe too, because he earlier in the race spilled a lot of hydraulic oil into the boat. Maybe you know, some parts of it are still very slippery, or you know, must be very hard to, of course, get that out. And he said that it was really all over, even on the ceiling, just kind of everywhere. So maybe there are some other, like you know, different small issues going on that are still hampering his max speed somewhat. I don't know. I haven't heard or seen anything really specifically about that. But yeah, he's doing really good speeds now, what you would expect in these winds. I would think even a little bit faster than this, but holding on to, still with all the bad luck he's had, 15th position, really good. Having excellent wind for now, so he's just doing very nicely. Then we're reaching Armel, who is unfortunately, who was getting really close, as you can see here, to Romain Atanasio and Banque Populaire, Clarice Kramer. But yeah, now they are on the other side of the high pressure, and he's still just in front of it. So they ran into this high pressure, slowed down a lot, and he gained a lot of miles on them. Yeah, for now he's going to be, you know, quite slow, of course, for a while there. So yeah, too bad there. What is interesting though is that you probably remember last time I told you that he was about 1,700 miles behind the leaders. Now he's got that reduced to 1,300 miles again. So he did the whole situation, let's say, of everything together, still put him another 350, almost 400 miles closer to the leader. So that is pretty impressive. But for now, and yeah, if we skip the weather ahead a little bit, it's gonna be at least, I think, a day or so, 24 hours, until he's really kind of through that. It is sinking more towards the south, so he is getting better wind, but for the next 3, 4, 5 hours, still going to be very light, and then it's slowly going to gain. It's not going to be all of a sudden having strong winds again. Well, then we have Romain and Clarice, both coming out of that high pressure hose, doing nicely, finally having good wind again, and you know, really cool to see that Clarice now, they were very close for a long time, but Clarice, much like Pip, kind of extending her lead a little bit and running actually away a little bit from Romain at this point. She's definitely heading into stronger winds. Her speed is still relatively low right now. I think she'd be able to go faster in the wind she's in right now. And Romain seems a little faster, even though he seems in lower wind. So I don't know if something's going on there. Haven't seen anything, but that's what it is. And at least for now, she's having a nice lead on Romain. And then we have the front of the fleet. Now there's something wrong here because we see double position. So actually I'll switch to the official cartography here to give us a bit of a better view. And so yeah, we see that Yannick Besthaven made his way for now kind of through the worst of it. But unfortunately, as we can see on the windy map, so if I put the moment now, we see that Yannick is kind of past it. But this is moving so fast, so 10 hours later, another 10 hours later, another 10 hours later, that it will inevitably catch up with Yannick. You can see his position here as he'll be moving, so that'll be his position on Thursday. And this is where the system will be. And as you can see, if he really ends up there, he's going to have the wind right against him. So the fact that he seems to be past it now is in no way a sign that he's kind of gotten over this and will stay ahead of it, because with the speed that this thing is moving, it's just impossible to stay ahead of it, and all of them are going to get caught in it. So there's not too much to say about it. The two outliers are Boris Herman and Jean Le Cam, and that's mostly because Jean Le Cam has gone a lot more north than the rest of the fleet, and Boris kind of made the same choice. Was my idea also from several days ago, as you guys will recall. And yeah, I think that that's kind of the only way, is to kind of hope to be a little bit more to the north and hope to have more wind, which they should be having now. So if you look at the situation right now, they both have more or less nothing, but as the system actually moves away from them, they should be having some wind and kind of be able to have a speed of maybe 10 or 11 knots, nicely and constantly moving with this system kind of right behind the back, and then as it falls off, they should be able to keep sailing. But whilst Yannick, for example, is now going very slow and will be followed by this, so he has to be really careful not to end up right in the middle of it. But as it follows him, he's going to lose more and more control as he gets less and less wind. So that's a very precarious situation, where you might argue that being behind it and being able to kind of follow it, making sure that you keep in those areas behind that high pressure that keep having some wind, maybe puts you in a position where you have a little bit more control over your own destiny, let's say. Even though you're behind, you have more control over where you are sailing than if it's just kind of following you and you don't know if it's going to go a bit more to the left or a bit more to the right. So yeah, I think that is the position that I would have chosen, and it's interesting to see that that Jean has also chosen this, because he wasn't looking like any of them were kind of doing the northern thing when I talked about it. But it seems that they both chose to go quite a bit north. I saw Boris also talk about it. You know, it's a gamble in one of his latest videos.
So one last thing, why am I here? Because I expect the high pressure to go southish, south a little bit, east and south. So my view at my look at the grip files told me that there's no way to go around it south, and it's super risky to go right through the middle. So the best bet would be to be in the north, which I tried. That's why I'm here, and we will see how this pans out. I hope it was not a big mistake, but something tells me everything is all right. Have a good day. Talk later. Ciao, ciao.
It's a gamble. We'll have to see how it all pans out. And yeah, that's more or less all I can really say about it. It is what it is, what we talked about yesterday also. So at least 2.5 more days of this very slow pushing on this high pressure and seeing who, you know, a little bit with some help of Lady Fortune makes it through and maybe gains some positions. The one thing that we do see happening is that, you know, everything getting just more and more close together. And so yeah, that's pretty much all I can say about it today. So pretty short report, but that's what it is. So thank you all again for watching. Make sure to like the video, important because likes apparently in the algorithm, you know, make sure that the video gets recommended, you know, to more people. So the more likes and the more comments, also the more recommendations we have. So like, and if you have something, an idea, a comment, whatever, put it down there. It really helps, you know, the channel. And for all the other information, go to seawolvestv.com. Also for the auction that we have going on. Let me get this thing actually. So after I used this for a prop 2 days ago, you all had the idea to actually do a little auction, a little Christmas auction with this, and we decided to do it for Sam Davis's good cause initiative SCUR. So half of the proceeds go to that good cause, and the other half goes to Seawolves to, you know, do something interesting for the channel, maybe a next interview or traveling somewhere to see something interesting for you guys. So 2 good causes, I would say, and the current highest bid is at 70 euros, so that's the price to beat. And yeah, it's a sign on the back here, Seawolf won with my name. Specialty foam boat, timeless Seawolf show item. So go to the website. One of the posts is named the foam boat auction, so you can find it there and you can bid via email. So just send an email with your bid to contact@seawolvestv.com, and we update the bids as they come in. Okay, so that's it for the show today. Please, you know, have a great time with your family and friends as we get closer and closer to Christmas. I hope you all have a very fun day, and we'll check in again tomorrow with a nice cup of coffee. Ciao.